Hi there, welcome everyone to our, I may already say monthly product updates webinar because I think it's even the fourth one we have. So regular is the word to describe it right now. Happy to see you all. I know, like not see, but feel you all in this wonderful sunny, like a real sunny Wednesday. I think that most of European countries tomorrow have a holiday. So respect the fact that you decided to spend some time in advance here with me. So I think this is it. Let me probably share my screen. Okay. And I will give you a quick overview of what we are going to go through today on this wonderful, potentially wonderful webinar. Okay. So today we're going to have four primary themes: permissions, user management and sharing, simplification. This probably two biggest areas we're currently focused on: AI, other updates, and Q&A part. Regarding the Q&A, as always, you're very welcome to leave your comments here in a right chat menu. I will make pauses at some point and I'll answer all the questions that you have. There is also like a button, ask a question, somewhere here. So you may click on it and ask a question. This webinar is recorded, so the recording will be sent to you after the webinar, and it will also be uploaded to the YouTube. So you can access it anytime. And you can also always ping us with a support and help button, humans, and ask like any question if you think that it is like too precise and you don't want to share your very secret use case with everyone, then that's the way to go. I also wanted to let you know that I will be on vacation for most part of the May. So if you have any questions, my teammates like Xenia, Chris, and even Michael will be happy to help in chats, this kind of things. But I hope I will be back full of energy and of course, I will be missing you all. Who am I to sit? Okay, so as always, we have a few memes, just because probably it's boring just to look at the text. April had 4 Thursdays and 4 releases. We released 36 features, including technical, not that much, by the way, compared to the previous month, but we are cooking quite a lot of big things already. And we fixed 53 bugs. Also, we discovered 68 new bugs. I think it's very impressive. We also add 93 features to the backlog. That was very surprising for me. We already have a backlog of about like 700 features. So each time someone like leaves a request, I'm linking the feedback. But since we're working hard on permissions area, on import area, and on AI area, we have to create like new features about new functionality coming soon. And that looked a little bit anxious, as for me. And the most productive ones are Michael and Anton, by the way. We also had one on Heads Call. We met in person in Poland. Not sure that you need this information, but I think it's nice to share. So let's go to the updates that we have. So the release improvements in this area were deactivate user, change email via context menu. Small one, but maybe just for better accessibility, access templates explained, and share whiteboard. We also deprecated old user settings page. And let's go through those improvements one by one. Okay. So for example, here I have a page of a Chris. Chris is a user. I love you, Chris. Very sorry that I have to deactivate you. But now it's like much easier to do. You can here both deactivate email, deactivate user and change email. Quick note here that deactivating user is different from delete user. Deactivating means that he will lose the access to the workspace, but all the history about what was this user doing, what were he is assigned, all the comments, everything will be saved. If you delete the user, then all the records that this user existed, they will be like deleted, and he will disappear from assignees field. Created by will be empty. So it like, if it is okay, you can always just deactivate the user instead of deleting it. And change email, this is something that you can do like anytime. It's not a new functionality, it's just a new place where you can do this. But in case you were not aware, changing email, just changes the email, the user will have access via new email again. Regarding access templates explained. So let's go to this project table. So I'm not sure whether you have already used access templates or not. So I will do my best to explain you briefly this functionality and where it can be applied. So let's say we have a lot of projects running simultaneously, and we are hiring freelancers or contractors, and we want them to have access only to the projects they are assigned to. But it's not only this, we also have projects, and projects have meetings and tasks. And we don't want them to see related meetings, but we want them to see related to this particular project they assigned to tasks. So I say, okay, I assign you to this project. You cannot see meetings, but you can see tasks. And projects will be for you read-only, but tasks are editable. So as you see, there are a lot of conditions that have to be met. And to define those conditions, we use custom access templates. And there are different ways where we can apply them. So my favorite way, probably because it's, as for me, it's pretty straightforward. I create a new field, which is called people, and I call it even let's say freelance assignee. And here there is a sharing option. So I can say that I can automatically share projects with freelancers. So if you're assigned to the project, then you grant the access. But instead of using owner, I want to have, can I move it like this? Yeah. So, and now I want to propagate this hierarchy to other levels. To do this, I'm creating a new access template. And as you see, this is where the redesign happened. So I will add a new template. It will be called freelance template. I mean, it's still not perfect probably, but I hope it will be less confusing. And it's, I think, a nice opportunity to give these access templates a new try if you haven't tried them before. So we say, okay, you have access to project. Remember, only read only one. So viewing will be enough. And I want to extend the access. We don't want to give him access to meetings, only to tasks. And tasks can be also updated or even deleted. Not sure. And we can also give submitter access. So we can also give them access to create tasks on this database or to create tasks or not. We can define whether we will give them ability to be able to create it or not. So I add this template. Okay. And now I can apply it. Sorry. Right here, if it isn't, oh no, have I created? No, I just created the, okay, let's call it assignee freelance sharing, automatically share, and now I have this freelance template to apply. So the one that initially I wanted. So no very specific new functionality, but more friendly UI. This is what we have about permissions that were released. And regarding the sharing, now it's possible to share Whiteboard. So this is, for example, the Whiteboard that we have. And as you see, now there is a share button. So I can share Whiteboard to the web. And once it is shared, yep, amazing. I can copy public link. I can embed it with via iframe. And this is how it looks in sharing mode. Please note that's important, since Whiteboard can show entities. We can also, let me open my card. It means that the cards can be also opened from the Whiteboard, but the relations, they will be mentioned as private. So when sharing Whiteboard, exactly like sharing, for example, entity or anything else with a Fiber public sharing, so far there is no way to define which relations are visible and the depth of them. So this is hard-coded, relations are not visible. Cards will be only normal fields will be seen, and this is how it will look like. Okay, I think, like, to be honest, I think it's like a pretty great thing to have. Okay, and also if you create a whiteboard in a private section, it's also not possible to share it. So private things aren't shareable. You have to move them to the public and share after that. Okay, and this is it for this month about permissions and user management. Not that much, but our code developer, who is responsible mostly for permissions, was also working on in parallel with a few other projects we'll be talking about in next sections. So forgive us that small amount of improvements. What is next? We want to allow not to extend access from space to its databases. So for now, it's like a bit hard-coded. Like if you, for example, give no access to the space, it means that default access for all the databases in this space is also no access. It's not very handy always, to be honest. Sometimes the logic is contradictory, so we want to make this part more flexible. We want to allow to have databases outside spaces, like for databases which doesn't belong to any space, for example, user, what we have right now, or meeting, because like meeting can be about any process that you have. I don't know, maybe a task, because task can be also like about anything, but not sure about this one. So we hope there'll be like quite a few use cases where this might be helpful. And consolidate default access template names across various places where it can be used, just to reduce the confusion that existed before. Okay, this is what we have about permissions and user management. Okay. The next part is simplification. That's also the area we have right now and focused. We polished required fields. We updated the new button. We added the ability to duplicate the field. I love it so much. Name as a formula was quite a challenge when you had to create new entities from wherever. So now it works a little bit better. And cleaner entity history. Let's go through these cases one by one. Okay. So regarding the required fields, if I try to create a new meeting, so let me maybe show it to you first, like here. So we made the date and time field required. So if I try to create a new meeting, now the design is a bit different. Like, I mean, there is now blue and fancy color here, but also like it suggests you this pop-up, where you have to add this kind of data. Like this part could be probably still a bit better, but this is what we have, and I call it like new meeting. So we improved this part. They were restyled. And if I try to create something from search, so I call it one more meeting, and I want to create a meeting. Since it has the required fields, they will be visible like here directly in search as well. So this part was also improved a lot. We're also planning to improve required fields in the form view for the consistency, but I believe it's not here yet. Now, the next thing is about new button when you are in views. Let me maybe hide this part, and let's say we are in the meetings table. So there is such a new button in the upper right corner. I can click on it. Then I have pretty nice pop-up coming here. Good. But now I have like this kind of option to have different type of forms. This can be handy when, for example, you have different type of documents to add, or different types of tasks to add, and there are different forms that you have for different conditions. So when you create a new form, like all good here, we can hide something, or we can bring it back, we can make something required, all good here. And after that, this form can be, first of all, it can be set as default. In this case, if you click on new button, this specific form will be applied as a default one. So like you define the default, not us finally. And you can also like make a different layout. So compact or full. If I click here, I mean, like, there's description field, and now it takes a little bit more space. So like there are not that many differences here, but I hope that will be handy for you as well. So we improved this new button with the forms. If you have any feedback about this, if you feel like this is still annoying, you're very welcome to join the community. And there was a discussion about that. And after that, this new button was restyled a few times. The next thing that was added is duplicate field. So let's say that there is a workflow field and you spend so much time on it and it has so many values, or maybe it was a tag field. I mean, tag doesn't have to be a field, it has to be a database, but that's not it. Or maybe a priority field. So a lot of cases, and you just want to duplicate it to the similar database. What do? We click on the field name, and now there is an option, duplicate to. And you can just duplicate it to any other database that you have. So single selects workflows like date and time. I think that any field right now can be duplicated to another database. The next thing that we improved is name is formula creation flow. Let's make the name of this meeting a formula. So that will be meeting plus date plus state. Okay, I'm that lazy that I do even generate the syntax via UI. Okay, I hope it is a good one. Okay, I add a formula. Is it a good thing to have? No, but quite nice. And now I want to create a new meeting via search. So let's say this is like a new meeting test. And as you see now, it also asked me to fill in the state, although state is not a required field. It is required for the name. So I can still leave this empty, but it will affect my name field. So the flow here, I think, is much better. And if we try to create, for example, it from the table, the same logic is applied here as well. So the flow creation was improved. Okay. And last but not least, I mean, like, I hate this formula field. Let me maybe, that was a bad idea to do this via AI. Convert back to text field. Okay. Disabled. Good. Let's just keep it like, I mean, like this. Good. So the card has its own history. I can click on it, and this part has become a bit cleaner. What do I mean? That before, entity history section was polluted with schema changes events, like when a field was added to the database, or a field was deleted from the database, or something happened at the database level, it still reflected the history of this particular card. Right now, like, it was just removed from here, and it was brought to the audit log. So you can still find this data, but this part is a bit cleaner, and this one, activity log, is the same as it was before. So no data loss, but more polishing. And also, maybe you haven't mentioned it, but it happened. So let's say one more meeting. Okay. As you see here in the right corner, I have a pop-up. So we found out that in many cases, I mean, there is one primary case, okay, when you are on a view and a view has filters, and the card that you create, it doesn't suit the filters, so at some point it disappears, and it is very confusing. So, and users even assumed that the entity wasn't created at all, that like something had gone wrong. So this is why we now share this like pop-up in the lower right corner to show that all good, all fine, the card was created. So you can like open it either here, I mean from the table, or via pop-up that appeared in the corner. So not sure about how amazing this decision is. We're still like waiting for the feedback. Hopefully, like it's not, too noisy. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. Chun, chun, chun. Regarding the simplification, that's like all the things we've done. What is next? Next is go and detect duplicates, not via AI. So how it works right now, once you created the card, AI checks are there any similar items, and it like gives you an icon, something like potential duplicate, please check. Second option is that you can go to our template gallery, and there you can check the deduplication template. It works with automations, and in fact, I mean, like maybe it will be helpful for you and you are not aware, it's an old functionality, but I'll go through it anyway. So imagine you have two different, like one database, and there are two different cards, maybe, I don't know, a sales card of a company. And it was added twice, but with different types of information. So in the first card, you added company name and address, and in the second card, you added company name, contact details, location, and phone number. So what was the template doing? It was checking some unique identifier, for example, name field, and it was merging the two cards, like deleting one of them and populating the second with the missing data. But it was still, kind of a template with explanation and automation rules that you had to apply, and AI is AI. So there was no way to prevent that duplicates during creation, something like you try to create something and it warns you, hey, it looks there is just another card about this. So this is what we're working on right now, to have this like duplicate detector, plus have ability to have like unique fields. So fields must have unique value. If they have something different, if the value is the same as in the other card, then it cannot happen, and you'll be either thrown an error or something. So this part is also hopefully will be released like within 2 weeks. I think it's like already even implemented and in the testing stage. Polishing sections in the whiteboard. I think this will be even, there is no one but a cat. But tomorrow is a holiday, and this is why we had a silence release today. I mean, like, who is watching this webinar? That's a secret, but all good. Like, we all are friends. So we will have a silent release today. You'll probably see a few improvements, but the public release will be on Friday, I think, or even next week. So I hope that better sections in Whiteboard will be either today or next Thursday. I mean, a lot of bugs fixed, the flow improved, these kind of things. Okay, the second theme is AI updates. So a new model was released, 4.0, I hope it is called. So it was automatically upgraded in the text assistant AI, and you can also now choose it intentionally in your automations. And oh my God, this is like the one I love the most, AI and automation formulas. I mean, I just love it so much. I don't have a good use case for it right now because but now, for example, when the meeting is created, I want to update what I want to update, date and time, and I want to update it with a formula. And I can ask AI to generate, and it will be like today, and please come up with a good solution, because solution will be also like not that complicated, I know, but still, because sometimes I'm like, I hate Excel. I mean, amazing tool, but I hate its logic, I hate its formulas. And I was pushed to love fiber formulas, but once AI appeared, I could forget this love and just use AI in 99% of cases. But then I had to love it again in automations. So yes, finally there is AI in formulas and automations. Sorry for this memorable back. Okay, what is going next? Smart Agent. We're still cooking it. I mean, like I promised it on the previous webinar, but I never told you the deadlines. So it's in progress. And also our user guide is not very nicely searchable via AI. Like if you ask ChatGPT about something in February, it's not very friendly to answer. So we're improving the readability of our guides to make us more popular. And if you love using ChatGPT rather than Fiber AI Helper Agent, then it has to be more helpful as well. About other updates, in the whiteboard, you can now draw a wonderful, fancy, and very straight line on the whiteboard by holding Shift. So we have my favorite whiteboard here to show. So like, I don't know what about you, but I do struggle a lot to understand whether this line is straight enough or not. And if I call it Shift, I mean, like I'm trying to move my mouse, but it is very straight. Anyway. And Google Calendar improvements. So what is now what is possible now with Google Calendar? No, we do not have two-way sync yet. And I don't think that we will have in the next month or two, or even 3. It's not planned. But this part wasn't planned as well, but we have it. So that means that there is always a hope. And when I sync the Google Calendar, yeah, let me choose like mine. First of all, there is an option which appeared that I cannot sync events that start more than X months from today. So like just limit the time frame because it could be kind of too much. Okay, calendars Paulina, all good here. Let me click on the next. Then you can, here I think is pretty the same things, but we added fields event ID and event UID. This can be helpful if you were like applying automations on top of that. Okay, let me sync now. You know, we'll just stay on the previous page in case I will sync some sensitive data so you didn't see it. This is why we have this wonderful table right here. And I'll be back to the screen once all the data is synced and I can share it. Maybe I had to make the time frame a bit less, but who cares? Okay, I think it will take us just a few moments more. Okay. Okay, so once it is synced, now there is an option with multiple accounts, and you can add one more account. It's helpful, to be honest, when you are an HR and you want to have a calendar as your personal HR, and maybe you have like common domain, something like hrfibery.io. So there could be like, or we have support.fibery.io. So I want in the same table have my emails, my colleagues' emails, and from the support team, and like our support domain. So you can also allow users to add their personal integrations. This is up to you. How do you want to manage that? Okay. So what was next? Okay, so we also updated Node.js and script action. In fact, it even like it has to work better now because there have to be a bit more functionality. If you're using scripts, you must be relatively happy. It also affected our performance a little bit. And we had to spend some time to fix that because they're new logic and our problems. But yeah, and write callouts using markdown. When you're using automations to generate markdown templates, like when a new project is created, prepare a description. Previously, callouts were not accessible via markdown. Now they are. I think these are good news. Regarding the education, we updated a few templates, product launch, service CRM. We also created new templates, campaign brief, and atomic research. Not sure whether you like, since you joined this webinar, most likely with Fibery for quite a time, but we're doing our best to update our template gallery and improve it with AI, with the forms, with the new functionality that we have. So the templates were like relatively not that outdated as they were for the last few years, to be honest. So the next segment will be focused in is employee management. So if you have any ideas which templates have to be added in the employee management for HRs which were missing, please let me know. I'll be happy to add them after the vacation. So yeah, no new blog posts, unfortunately, by the way. Oh, yeah, it's not about the education, but if you join the LinkedIn and if you find our designer there, you'll be able to find the video with all, not all, okay, most of our teammates in Poland and to see their faces. Not sure why do you need this, but just be aware of this capability. Okay, what we are going to focus on next, how to put this face. So Gantt chart, still cooking, promising for the second month in a row. We'll keep promising. Mobile app, it's still in start. We just like, we're not even ready for the using interviews yet because we are cooking some basic functionality and testing the performance. Once we are ready, we will contact users who are interested in it to check this out. So if you are in this list or you want to be in this list, just ping me. Something I'm very excited to have, filters, dynamic date ones, this month, this week, this quarter. So yes, we have relative date filters. No, it wasn't there. Yes, it will be there. So I'm really missing this functionality. Also, importance and focus. We are cooking better CSV, better Airtable connector, ClickUp, and GitLab connectors, and are going to redesign the integration sections. So I think better CSV, like improved CSV, will be delivered in May, and other connectors will be improved like step by step in the next few months, probably. I think like till the end of the summer, all the connectors will be updated, upgraded, improved. And even though ClickUp tries to keep all customers' data and not share it with customers, even via export, I hope that we'll find a greater way to get it out there if needed. Okay, I think in fact that was it. That was the webinar. It looked like not that many functionality delivered, so it took just us half an hour to go through all of them. I said we have a question. Thank you so much. You know, like no comments, no questions, a little bit depressing. I know, son. Like, but thank you so much for this question. Yes. Can you please add Telegram integration? This will be rich 6 scenario, really good looking. To be honest, no. Tools like Telegram or WhatsApp can be used for primary two cases. First one for notification purposes. So when you send notification to the customers, so to yourself, for example, Telegram or WhatsApp. And the second one regarding customers communication, when you just talk to a customer in Telegram or WhatsApp and want to see this kind of conversation in Hybrid. Unfortunately, none of the options will be delivered, I believe, this year. Telegram was requested for the last 3 or 4 years, but I think the Telegram is mostly used in the Russian-speaking area, also in Russia, in Belarus, in Ukraine. I think it was also popular. In WhatsApp is mostly for European countries and USA, and Russia is under sanctions right now, and we do not work with Russian customers, and this is why we're not very interested, to be honest, in this tool integration. Although before we had a few requests, and also there was, I remember from the first discussion, there was another, even before 2022, we had a confusion that such kind of messengers, they're a bit more private, it's unlikely that everyone has a corporate phone number. Maybe you'll be pushed to use your private mobile phone number and get notifications to your private messengers. And we were not sure that we want, as a company, help companies do this because it's all about the privacy and respect to the employees. So, of course, this can be the case, but we just don't want to be the part of it. So no, we will not add it, but I think in the community, because I'm also using Telegram because I mean, this tool is popular among my friends. I think in the community, someone wrote a custom integration and they shared information about this. So it's possible to write a custom connector since they have a public API, and you're very welcome to do the same on your own. Okay, it's clear. Yay! Okay, it seems like we have another question. Amazing. Has this team considered touch device support for Whiteboard, like Finger or Apple Pencil on an iPad? Yes, we did. And there was a choice. Either focus on touch device support for Whiteboard or mobile app. And we just prioritized for now mobile app a bit higher. So I think once mobile version will be polished enough, we can be back to this topic again. That's just the problem of having relatively small team, that we have one designer who's working both on Whiteboard and on mobile, and his capabilities are a little bit limited. And we also have one developer on the Whiteboard, and now we have 1.5 developers working on the mobile app, and one of them even have expertise in the mobile. So I'm hoping for the best. Okay, oh my God, we have another one. Oh, thank you so much, guys. What improvements come into sections? Can I embed section rather than the whole whiteboard? I must be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I saw the specification and I decided that will be the problem for me in May product webinar, because it's not ready yet, it wasn't released yet, and since it wasn't tested properly, I prefer to under promise and over deliver. There will be sections. I saw a lot of bugs fixed, but not all the functionality was properly tested. So I don't know, maybe maybe it will be, maybe not. I will if you ping me in intercom after the webinar, I can double check the spec and check at least whether it was planned to work this with kind of embedding or not. Okay. Maybe we can have Discord Slack connections to create pushes for ourselves, like quick solution if mobile is in progress. Discord is also in our backlog, and it has higher probability, but Discord is mostly used by the game dev companies, and we don't have that many customers in game dev section because they heavily relying mostly on Jira and Confluence. So we were thinking whether we want to go into the segment, and now we're pretty passive there. The Slack connection we do have. You can create pushes to yourselves. Automations have functionality to create custom notifications, okay, reminders. Like when this happens, send notification. When this happens, send notification. And there is an action there to send notification via Slack. So you can even skip Fibri inbox and send it directly to Slack, or you can first give notification to Fibri and then it will be sent to Slack. And you can also send notifications to public channels, for example. For example, we have a special channel called Feedback Targets New. When someone silently creates a new feature or a new insight in Fibri, then this a link to this newly created item appears in Slack. So our customer success team was also aware that new features were added, and we could notify could better link the feedback or could ask the questions, etc. So it's very helpful if you want to keep an eye on that. The same goes, for example, with days off, days on, when someone gets a vacation, or days on, day off, whatever. We're getting notified in Slack when there is a public holiday, and this the detection happens in Fibri. So we're a remote team. Teammates are in different countries. If there is a national holiday in a specific country, there is a Slack notification about it with avatars of employees which live in this country, okay, who is affected. So it's possible to use to do this all in Slack. I mean, even no coding. And for the Discord or Telegram or any other channel, any other tool which has a public API, it's also possible to deliver that. But there you'll have to build this with webhooks and API on your own. Mobile probably will solve part of those questions. And by the way, notifications right now in Fiber can also be turned on for the web. So like wherever you are, in which tab you are, you'll still see something. So yes. Okay. And now I think that we are done because there are no questions left. And yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming, recording on the YouTube. And see you back in the end of the May with a new webinar, chats, and this kind of things. Thank you so much for coming, and bye-bye.